If you think you need Wi-Fi for a solar security camera, you're actually missing out on some of the most rock-solid off-grid setups possible. Today, we're going to build a solar-powered security system that can work literally anywhere using cellular data or just local recording. But way more importantly, we're going to do it the right way, by treating it like a proper power system, not just some plug-and-play gadget.
So let's just get right to it, the big question. Why do so many of these solar cameras fail? You've probably been there. You buy one, you set it up, and a few weeks later, especially after a couple of cloudy days, it's just dead. And man, that frustration is real, right? But the reason, it's actually surprisingly simple.
Okay, so here's the deal. It really all boils down to one thing. Most people come at this with a gadget mindset. They see a simple little box with some vague promises. But if you want real reliability, you have to shift your thinking to a power system mindset. That means doing the calculations. That means building something designed to work in the real world, not just on a sunny day in a marketing photo. And that shift in thinking, that is the key to literally everything we're about to talk about.
All right, let's get into the nitty-gritty. Every single solar camera system, I don't care how simple or complex, has three basic parts. You've got the camera's power load, you've got the battery for storage, and you've got the solar panel for input. And I'll tell you right now, the number one reason these things fail is people they skip the math that ties these three parts together. So let's fix that.
So the first most critical number you've got to wrap your head around is what's called your daily energy consumption. We measure it in watt hours. Now, this isn't about how much power the camera uses in a single moment. It's the total amount of energy it chews through over a full 24-hour cycle. This one number is the foundation for everything else in your system.
So, let's put some real numbers to this. A pretty typical outdoor security camera might pull somewhere between 3 and 10 watts, especially at night when those little infrared LEDs kick on to see in the dark. So for our math, let's just play it safe and use an average of 5 watts.
But here's the thing, and this is the part almost everyone messes up. Your security camera isn't a part-time worker. To do its job, it has to be on, recording, watching, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's non-negotiable.
So you do the simple math, 5 watts, running for 24 hours, and what do you get? 120 watt-hours per day. That's it. That's our daily energy budget. That's the amount of juice our battery has to provide every single night, and it's the amount our solar panel has to replace the next day. This number is our blueprint.
Okay, so we've got the theory down. We understand the math. Now, let's get our hands dirty, right? Let's move from why these things work to how to actually build one that doesn't fail. We're going from the drawing board to a real working system.
Okay, so here's our game plan. 6 simple steps. We'll pick a camera, do that energy math we just talked about, size the battery and panel, and then we get to the 2 things most people completely forget: the charge controller and proper weatherproofing.
All right, step 1. This is super important. You want to choose a camera that runs on DC power right out of the box. So we're talking 12-volt, 5-volt USB, maybe even power over Ethernet. What you want to avoid are cameras that need a big, clunky AC wall adapter. Why? Think about it. Every time you convert power from your DC battery to AC and then back to DC for the camera, you're just throwing energy away. We're talking 10, maybe even 20%. That's a huge waste when every watt-hour counts. Okay, so we technically already covered step 2. That's calculating our daily energy. So let's jump right to step 3, sizing your battery. Think of your battery as your energy savings account. It's not just there to get you through the night. A properly sized battery gives you what's called autonomy, the power to run for 1, 2, maybe even 3 cloudy days in a row with no sun. That's what keeps your system stable and reliable.
Okay, hold on. Before we even think about plugging in a solar panel, there is one little box that is so important. I mean this, it is 100% not optional.
I'm talking about the charge controller. This little guy is basically the brain of the whole operation. It's the traffic cop that sits between your solar panel and your battery. It makes sure the battery gets a nice, steady charge without ever overcharging, which would completely destroy it. Seriously, trying to save $20 by skipping this is the fastest way to cook a $100 battery. Don't do it. It protects your whole investment.
All right, we're on the home stretch of the build. And this final step is all about defense. Because once everything is hooked up, your system's number one enemy isn't a thief or a critter chewing on a wire, it's just plain old water.
I can't tell you how many systems I've seen fail because of water getting in. It causes corrosion, that leads to voltage drop, and eventually your camera just starves for power and dies. So do this.
Mount all your connections inside a proper weatherproof box. Use real DC connectors, not just twisted wires with electrical tape. And seal every single hole where a cable enters that box.
Okay, we've built a reliable system, but now we need to talk about something that's even more critical, and that's safety. This isn't just about making it work, it's about making sure it's not a hazard. And these next steps, they are absolutely non-negotiable.
You know, a lot of people hear low voltage and they think no danger, and that is a huge, huge mistake. A 12-volt battery might not shock you, but an improperly installed system can absolutely cause some serious damage or, worse, start a fire.
So here it is, your safety checklist. I want you to treat this like gospel. First, fuse every single positive wire coming off that battery. That's your short circuit protection. Second, use the right gauge wire for the amount of current you're pulling. You don't want them getting hot. And please, make sure your battery can breathe. Give it some ventilation. These aren't just suggestions, they're requirements for a safe system.
So look, when you do all this, when you do the math, you pick the right parts, and you follow the safety rules, you'll end up with something way more than just a camera. What you really get is true off-grid freedom. You get a security system that you can actually truly count on.
And this really brings us full circle back to what we said at the very beginning. A system like this, powered correctly and using a SIM card or just recording locally, it is almost always going to be more reliable than a typical Wi-Fi camera. Why? Well, there's no router to crash, no internet to go down, no network problems to worry about. It's just pure, self-sufficient, off-grid operation.
In the end, it really all boils down to one simple idea. A solar security camera without Wi-Fi isn't just possible, it's often better, but only if you design the power system correctly. Get the power math right from the start, and what you build will just run silently, day and night, no matter what, without you ever having to worry about it again.
So, I'm going to leave you with one final question to chew on. When you think about your security, or the setup you're planning to build, is it built on the shaky promises of a plug-and-play gadget, or is it engineered on the solid foundation of a real power system? Because honestly, the answer to that question will determine whether it works or it doesn't.